Sony's PlayStation 5 is getting a major revamp, set to launch in 2023, the new model, but that's not all. Rumors are swirling about mid-gen upgrades for the PlayStation 5 Pro and a new Xbox series. Next up, we've got the scoop on the PlayStation Plus free games for July. And finally, we'll be exploring the latest buzz about a new console from Nintendo. Alright, let's dive into some exciting news from Sony. They're shaking things up with a major revamp of the PlayStation 5, set to hit the market around September 2023. This isn't just any update. We're talking about a whole new model known as the D-chassis PS5. It's set to replace the A, B, and C chassis that we've known since the console's initial release. Now, here's the game changer. The D-chassis PlayStation 5 is going to feature a detachable disk drive. Yes, you heard that right, a detachable disk drive. It's going to connect via an extra USB-C port on the back of the console. And the best part, it's not going to mess with the console's aesthetics. In fact, it could even lead to a slimmer and lighter PlayStation 5. You'll be able to get your hands on the new PlayStation 5 as a standalone product or bundled with the detachable disk drive. And if your drive gets damaged, no worries, the disk drives will also be sold separately. Sony's got big plans for this new model. They're aiming to produce 18.5 million units in FY 2023, while the production of AC chassis consoles is expected to decrease. Now, I know what you're thinking, what about the developers? Well, sources have confirmed that the prototype of the console has been with developers for several months, but it's not in the hands of game developers, it's with Sony. The new console will have almost identical specs to the original PlayStation 5. According to Tez2, a reputable data miner and frequent Rockstar Games insider, these new dev kits are already in the hands of developers. Most AAA studios should have received these dev kits, or should receive them by the start of the new year. But let's be clear, these claims are not related to the PlayStation 5 console scheduled to release in 2023. Sony's production plans for fiscal year 2023 include total of 30.5 million consoles, with 18.5 million being the new PlayStation 5 with the detachable disk drive. Insider Gaming believes that this new model is just a standard PlayStation 5 console aimed at the $400 to $500 price point. And interestingly, the reported production numbers did not include any PlayStation 5 Pro consoles, which could indicate a release during FY 2024 or after. So let's break it down. What does all of this mean for us gamers? From what we know, the PS5 Slim or Gen 2 is set to arrive in September. It's going to be diskless, but with the option to add on a detachable disk drive. Now, this could be a game changer for those who prefer a digital version and are looking to save some cash. But here's the catch. If Sony decides to only ship diskless versions and charge more than $100 for the detachable disk drive, it might be a deal breaker for some. It's a tricky situation, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts. As for the PS5 Pro, all signs point to a release at the end of 2024 or even 2025. So if you're already a proud owner of the standard PS5, rest easy. There's no real incentive to switch. And if you're still rocking a PS4 or PS4 Pro, my advice would be to hold off until September to get your hands on the new PS5 models. As for me, I'm definitely planning to snag the new PS5 Slim. But enough about me, I want to hear from you. What do you think about all this? Let's get a conversation going. While we wait for the new PS5, Sony isn't leaving its subscribers empty-handed. PlayStation Plus members have 3 exciting games to look forward to in July. These include Call of Duty Black Ops: Cold War. This is a first-person shooter game that's part of the popular Call of Duty franchise. It's set in the early 1980s and features a single-player campaign with multiple possible narratives, as well as various multiplayer modes. The game has generally been well received by players for its engaging story and solid gameplay mechanics.
Pre-order a digital copy and get early access to the open beta and instant access.
Alan Wake Remastered. This is a remastered version of the original Alan Wake game, a psychological action thriller set in an eerie atmospheric world. Players control the titular character, a novelist who must unravel the dark secrets of a small town to save his wife. The remastered version has been praised for its improved graphics and the preservation of the engaging narrative and gameplay of the original. Endling. Extinction is Forever. An indie adventure game that puts players in the role of a fox trying to survive in a world devastated by humans. The game features stealth elements and a focus on environmental storytelling. As for me, I'm definitely going to dive into Call of Duty Cold War. I've never had the chance to experience it, and I'm excited to see what it has to offer. But what about you guys? Which game are you most excited to play? Now let's shift gears and talk about Nintendo. Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick has shared some insights about the next Nintendo console during court hearings related to the deal between Activision Blizzard and Microsoft. During a conversation with regulators about how Call of Duty games would function on consoles, Kotick revealed that he had discussed the issue with Nintendo's management. Nintendo reportedly stated that the next model of its console will be comparable in power to the previous generation of gaming consoles, specifically the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. However, Kotick did not specify whether he was referring to the improved versions of these 8th-generation consoles or their base models. Despite this, he expressed confidence that running Call of Duty on the new Switch consoles won't pose any problems. Here's what I think. If they can release a new Switch with the power of a base model PS4 and price it at $299 or $349, it's a clear indication that Sony could do the same. It's a bit puzzling to me why Sony is focusing on this Q project instead of launching a new PSP model. I mean, the market for handheld gaming is clearly there, as demonstrated by the success of the Nintendo Switch and the Steam Deck. So it's a bit of a head-scratcher why Sony isn't capitalizing on this.